folks, Rick Berube here with Rochelle Vannoy, real estate extraordinaire from the St. Rose office. That happens to be where we are today too, yes. And hey, number 4, 2021, and probably going to be that or better for 2022 of all the independent agents in Las Vegas. So welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rick.
We don't have our studio audience today. Yes, we are fighting internet problems today, so we're doing it live. Like live. Good thing it was you today, right here in the office.
I know, it is a good thing, right? And I showed up for work, right?
You did, right. And you're parking your favorite spot.
I did.
By the way, I must say that there's only 2, sometimes 3 cars before I got here, and one of them's hers. The other one's Troy, and Lorette beats me once in a while.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's either me. Anyway, that's the order of people that show up for work here. All right, so Rochelle, tell me a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, all that good stuff. Maybe a little bit about the market too. We'll get into that.
Okay. Well, my name's Rochelle Vannoy. I am here in Las Vegas. I work the whole city, Las Vegas North, Las Vegas, Henderson, the whole shebang. And I've been an agent now, Rick, believe it or not, for 21 years.
Well, I was going to say 17. I was off.
Oh, God bless you. I can't believe it's been that long. It doesn't seem like it. But that's why he doesn't have any hair. No.
It's true. I've been in real estate for 39 years.
I know.
I should look 104.
You
Don't
do?
even think about saying that.
Anyways, I'm an individual agent. I work general real estate. What does that mean? That means I don't have a team. I don't want a team.
I mean, she's the general.
I am the general, the soldier, and the pickup artist. So yeah.
You're the what do they call that? You're a walking, talking business.
Yeah.
Like Jay-Z. Remember that? Have you seen the Jay-Z comment? Jay-Z did an interview with Warren Buffett.
Oh, really?
Worth watching on YouTube.
Wow.
And Jay's famous line is, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man." And that's what you are. Except a woman going to it. So that's great.
Thank you.
So tell us, okay, so just so we get this out of the way, because one of the reasons you are successful as a solo agent is because of your schedule and what you do.
Sure.
So give me an idea of what you do, please.
So my day starts at 5:30 in the morning. I get up and get ready and get out of the house. I prep. So I always bring breakfast and lunch to the office with me. Saves time and also makes it so you eat healthier, just a hint. And so at 7 o'clock I do affirmations, Rick. At 7:30 I role play, and I'm on the phones by 8.
You have an affirmations partner, don't you?
I do. I
Tell
got
me about
a new
that.
one last year.
Yeah, you burned out the other one. He had to retire.
Yeah, no, he retired, yeah. But affirmation partner is simply somebody that you agree to call at a certain time of the day, and you say your affirmations.
Right. Because it's more powerful when you say them to another person.
It is extremely more powerful. I mean, I've written them out and I've said them, chanted them to myself, but it is when you hear yourself saying it and you hear someone else responding, it is more impactful.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, great. So, and then, okay, so after that, so you get up, you do your affirmations and so forth. You get to work at what time and what happens next?
So I get to the office at 7 o'clock usually, and that's where I do my affirmations. And then at 7:30 I role play, and 8 o'clock I get on the phones. And then I work for an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll take a break for a half hour, return phone calls, emails, stuff like that. And that's my schedule till noon.
And how many contacts in that time do you make? Like, what's the average that you talk to?
So my contact goal for the day is 25.
Right.
25. So, you know, some days you get 20, some you get 30, but the goal...
The average 25, yeah.
The goal is 25, yeah.
Do you still do that on Fridays too, or do Fridays a little lighter?
Well, I still do it on Fridays.
Oh, you do? Okay.
If, this is the key, if I haven't... So basically, my reward or my punishment for staying on my schedule is not having to prospect on Friday or Saturday, or having to prospect on Friday or Saturday, right?
If you've kept up to your schedule and so forth.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. So you've been doing that for a while.
A long time. Long time.
And as you do those 25 day in, day out, 5 days a week, or sometimes 4 if you're good, right? And then tell me about the momentum that happens when you're doing that for a while.
So that's a key word, momentum, that I think a lot of newer agents don't understand the impact of it. momentum is like the difference between having to pick up a 10-pound dumbbell every single time versus just picking it up once and holding it. And it's so much easier once you already have it than trying to start it again for multiple reasons. First off, we're creatures of habits, right? And if you're used to doing the same thing over and over and over, it's easier to do. Number one. And number two, because it's a repetitious pattern, you feel off when you're not doing it. So once you get to that point, you're golden. Just don't mess it up
It does
too
become
many days
easier.
in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of agents is they never get there.
They never
do it wrong. What you just described is it's a habit for you now.
It's a habit. It has to become a habit. Your schedule, whatever it is for you, has to be a habit. And your habits determine your life and your income. So if you have bad habits, break them, which will take 2 to 6 weeks depending on who you are and how bad the habit is, right? But when you get a new habit established and you make it in place, then you're good. It's easy again. So
it does become easier, and you can actually do other things and enjoy and have fun, because it comes to a certain time you're almost on autopilot until someone's on the phone.
Right. Exactly. So there is stacking, which is what you're talking about. So once you do get to that point of being comfortable to that degree, you can do monotonous things to entertain yourself while you're doing what you're doing, which is your job.
Right. So you couldn't be cooking, but you could be doing it.
No, probably.
Because you take it too seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's like full contact cooking.
Full contact cooking. Sometimes in my house, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, and then you just came back from, and I heard you had a person you spent some time with there too from Arizona.
I did. I
Tell
got
us a
to
little, yeah.
spend time with Marcy Murphy. Hey, Mars. She was my roomie, and it was just at the production retreat here in Las Vegas with my ferry. That was a 3-day event, and it was great.
Yeah. See, and because you and Marcy, it's funny because you and Marcy are very similar in that, a lot of people think you guys are like, well, you don't see her a lot, and because you guys are doing stuff. Right? You're prospecting, you're being productive, and it's tough. Like when you're like, I talk to a lot of newer agents, and they're very social. They have to understand that you can't be social all the time to be very successful in this business.
You have to be social with the people who will give you business. Now, if you're recruiting from the other agents in the office, that might be a really hard recruit job because I think they already know another agent.
Right.
So you want to talk and use your time efficiently. And honestly, everybody only has so much gift of gab in them. I don't care who you are. So there is a limit in the amount that you can talk and be entertained and entertain others and listen intentionally and all of that. So
So a lot of times when you get home, you've talked enough for the day.
That's a good thing.
You have to
There's
program
not a
your
lot of
spouse.
talking in my house. Yeah.
If you have a spouse who's okay with that, it's good. And if you're not, then you got to manufacture more.
Or you just gotta manage your energy to have energy for them, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you, give us a couple of tidbits, because I know that I heard some really good things about the productivity retreat in January, which was last week, right?
It was last week, yeah.
Yeah.
Some tidbits from the retreat. One of the things that I was talking to someone about was the fact that your sphere of influence is a gold mine. Obviously, we all know that.
Right.
One of the things that I know for the first probably almost a half a dozen years, at least the first 3 years to 6 years, I didn't really use it as much as I should. And so I've definitely worked on that the last few years.
Now, was that because I don't want to ask for business, I don't want to see how to come back?
A little of
Yeah,
that.
'cause that's the number one thing
A
right
little
there.
of that.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit of almost who I am. If they want something, they'll just let me know. And I guess that sounds kind of egotistical, but it wasn't meant like that. But at the same time, people have other lives. They have a lot going on.
You gotta remind them.
And not just going to remind them, they don't understand. We as agents, especially after we've been in it for a while, Rick, we forget how much we do know.
Right.
That people don't know that we do.
Right.
And so, I'll talk to someone and they'll be like, oh, my cousin Susie just bought a house in Tennessee or whatever. That's not their fault. That's your fault. Because you didn't let your clients know that you could have helped them with that house over there.
Right. So you gotta stay. You gotta be talking to them all the time, and then it's almost like programming it, because then they'll talk to people at work and in their neighborhood.
Exactly.
Right.
Top
Church.
of mind. It's kind of crazy, like if you say blue butterfly. This is one Matthew Ferry used to use all the time. The only thing then you can think about is freaking blue butterfly floating around, right? It's the same kind of thing with you and your name with your clients.
Right.
You say you talk to them, you're top of mind, and ironically sometimes the very next day someone says something and they're like, oh my gosh. So.
It's amazing when I work with agents that have been in the business for a long time, and I get them doing their sphere, and they're shocked at how well it goes. They're also shocked the first time they go through there.
How many already bought and sold?
You know what? I didn't know you were still in the business. I thought you were stolen by gypsies. I didn't know what happened to you, right?
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And you'll get some of that, and that's a good slap in the face for you if you've been an agent for a while and you didn't recall.
You won't let it happen again.
I never really got that,
No.
to be honest, but...
You take direction well, unlike a lot of agents. You do a lot of, and I tell you this all the time, you're like the quintessential perfect agent that's an independent agent, not non-team, okay, that's highly productive and profitable, and you do a professional job, you know the market, like you do your homework.
Yeah. My goal is profitability over ego. So I don't do billboards, I don't do TV ads, I don't do radio ads, I don't do magazine ads, I don't, like all these things.
And you
that
barely
spend
do
money.
social media.
Hey.
I had to torture you, just like I had to torture myself to do it. I just did a video on that, by the way, about how you gotta do it. If I have to do these, you have to do these.
Fair enough. So anyway, so profitability.
Yeah.
Always keep that in mind. What are you doing this for? Are you doing this for the recognition? Are you doing this to make money and have a nice life? That's
So she basically just said income over ego, which is good. But when you're lean and mean like you are, it also allows you to do a tremendous job for your customers, your clients.
That's true. I get control of a lot of the customer service that they are getting. They get physical calls from me. They get, newsletters that I actually read and
do.
Yeah. And so, they do feel, I believe, that they know me, because they do know me. They can call me for anything.
Right. So that's why your business, you've been doing this for quite a while now. Good job. And they tell their friends and so forth. So even though you're prospecting and making 25 contacts a day, you're still getting a decent amount from your repeat referral business. Which is really the proof.
It's been more than half of my business for a long time now. The last 2 years, I think it was like 65% of that business. So.
That's good. That's good, because if you get like some people we know, 75 to 80%, because they're not doing the 25 contacts, so...
Well, they're doing contacts, but just contacts in their database. So I always...
The non-scary stuff.
Yeah, you eat the frog first, right? If you got a piece of cake, I like cake, and you got a frog, I'm going to eat the frog before the cake, because I want the cake to cover up the frog, right? So...
Thank you, Rod Tracy.
You're welcome. So, expireds are first.
Right.
And then usually old expireds, a few of those, and then SOI, and then just listed, just solds are in the afternoons if I or late mornings.
And you'll even go door knocking them sometimes too.
Oh, I love door knocking.
Yeah.
In fact, I was just talking to someone about that today, but it's still, in my opinion, a little too cold.
It's a little chilly.
Yeah.
A little windy too.
Yeah.
But and I was telling somebody that that's one of the things that you do. You don't have a farm, but you do farming activities around your listings and sales.
Yeah, I just
based on the hottest ones.
Circle prospect around whichever listings. that I like the neighborhood and or they need help to get sold.
Right. Right. Now, back to Sphere for a second. My suspicion on Sphere, because you don't even NAR, National Association of Realtors, some people call it something else, but National Association of Realtors, say that 78% of agents never call their client after the closing. Now, I've been doing this a long time. My suspicion is because they don't do a great job. Why? How can you call somebody after that you didn't do a great job on?
That's part of it. I think the other part is disorganization, like I said, and not taking the business as serious as it is, not realizing what they're giving up. Everybody who purchases one of my sellers' homes gets added to my database, and I do stay in touch with them, and I have gotten business from them. I've bought and sold properties for people that bought and sold with another agent.
Right.
So it does happen.
Yeah, because you keep in touch with them after.
Yeah.
That's the key, really.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if someone's servicing their needs, great, then I have no reason to do that. But most of the time, I find that's not the case.
Not the case. Yeah, and I'm going to be a company guy here for a second. And we have incredible tools in the Virtual Agent Center 2.0 that you use.
And we have a great referral source with Terry Randall in the relocation department to help you out with anybody that is buying or selling or moving out of state.
Right. And who wins the profit builder in this office most times?
I don't know. I
think we know her. I think she's right here. That's when you get other agents to join the company, refer an agent to your. I think I throw that in because you do it every year.
I do it every year. Yeah, I do.
How many people have you got to this company?
I don't know.
It's quite a few though. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's when you refer an agent to your manager and they join the company. You get a small piece of every deal they do from now into eternity, and then eventually that adds up.
It does, a little, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so this might be my favorite question I have to ask every time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a new agent, I'm an experienced agent, I'm just trying to maximize, 2023. Who are you going to be in 2023? Right? So what would be the top 3 things you would tell them to focus on?
Top 3 things to focus on in 2023. All right, well, you need a schedule. And you need to treat your schedule as though you're the employee, not the boss.
Right.
And when you're an employee, you show up for work on time. And you don't leave early. And you don't take a 2-hour lunch. And
if you want to keep your job.
All those things. So, as a newer agent, you honestly have to ask yourself, did I either do activities to grow my business, do activities to grow my knowledge, or do activities to grow myself as a person? If you didn't do one of those 3, you didn't show up for work that day. Now, as an experienced agent, you could use all those 3, but there should be less of the learning part because you should already know it all.
Right.
Well, not all of it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the basics down.
The basics are down.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you need more time in the basics.
Right. And then after that, it's just growing because you gotta, like we just said earlier, it's a repetitious thing that you're doing making 25 contacts.
It is repetitious and it can be boring.
Yeah.
But they always say that the gold is on the other side of boredom. Because if you look at the football playoffs are on right now, and if you look at what the players are doing, they're doing the same play like 50 times. You don't see that, but that's what they're doing.
During the week, yeah.
They're probably not super excited when the coach says, do it again, do it again, do
It's
it again,
do this,
do
it's
it again,
yes.
right? So it's the same thing with you.
Yeah. Repetition is that, because then it allows you, like if you play an instrument, you know that by playing the same song over and over, you start adding other little intricacies to it to make it sound even better.
Exactly.
Because when it becomes a little boring for you, you start making it a little bit more entertaining. And if you've ever seen, even the Rolling Stones are the perfect example. I mean, one's dead now, finally, but 3 of them are partially deceased, but still playing. They're great though. I say that jokingly because when I'm their age, if I can be doing what they're doing, I'm completely happy. But if you ever see them live, it's not the same song that you hear on the record from 40 years ago.
Right.
but you definitely recognize it, but it sounds even better.
Yeah.
So you get better at it.
Right, you get better at it.
By the
Exactly.
repetition. Yeah, so it's not as boring as it sounds. Plus, you know, the amount of business you know you can do from it definitely overcompensates the slight boring
Well,
time.
that's one of the keys I was gonna say is actually, I'm glad you said that, Rick, is once you get to a certain point and you've done it enough, you know, even if, like, okay, in our market here in Las Vegas, July, August, September were kind of scary.
Yeah.
They were scary. A lot of agents were really not super excited about that market. But as a seasoned agent, I sat back and I told myself, do what you can do in the moment now. This too shall pass.
Right.
And so it's not getting super crazy emotional. And I think 2023, I personally think it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, so do I.
It's
It's going to be
starting off
anywhere from
pretty well.
very good to great. I'm not convinced it's great yet, but I'm convinced it's very good at least.
Well, yeah.
Which is all you need.
Which is all I need. Exactly.
Yeah.
Treat your business like a business. That's kind of my answer for number one. Number two is set a goal and break it down. Everything's achievable in small quantities. Okay? If I told you you had to eat an elephant or had to eat a whole shark or had to eat something else, you'd look at me and go, oh my God. But if I told you you had to have one bite and that's it, you'd be like, okay, no problem, I could have one bite. So whatever your goal is, break it down. And if you get ahead, great, keep at it. If you're behind, re-break it down. And just commit to doing what it is you have to do to get it.
Right.
If it's important, it'll happen.
Right. So treat it like a business and then have the steps. That's what, when I saw Deepak Chopra years ago, when I was with, it was called Mike 3, whatever, it was Mike times, anyway, it was Mike's mastermind group.
Yeah.
It was Mike, M3
M3,
first.
yeah.
Remember that M3, yeah. And we had Deepak Chopra, and that was his whole talk. The process guarantees the outcome. Decide on the process and follow it.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. And then the last thing, schedule fun. I know when I have something to look forward to, I am more focused and dedicated and working. So when I have a goal, it could be something simple, like in the beginning when I didn't make that much money, you know, I would give myself a reward of buying a thing of nail polish with every closing. Or then one year I did a pair of shoes. Then, you know, so you can create whatever it is that makes you happy.
Right.
Some little tangible thing that you can collect and say, okay, I did my job.
Rewards.
Rewards. Give yourself rewards, and then, you know, schedule trips or something, whatever's fun for you. So we're gonna do a riverboat cruise on a paddle boat this summer down the Mississippi.
Wow.
And then in December we're going to South America. That's the goal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
South America, what part of?
Well, we're gonna do Machu Picchu, so we'll be in Peru and Chile, and
that place is pretty amazing, I hear.
yeah.
It's on my list too.
Oh, good. You wanna come?
Yeah, I'm going on a river cruise this year too, but
Oh, really?
we're going to one in Portugal, you know,
Oh,
Viking. So I booked it 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Danube?
No.
No, that's Germany.
That's,
Sorry.
yeah, no, this is, it's called the River of Gold, but it's that main river that runs through Portugal. You go all the little castles and,
That would be really nice.
you know,
I love
Portugal. She's like you, she's analytical.
Is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I
Bring
heard.
back truffles. They're a lot cheaper there.
All right.
Wine, truffles, sherry. I'll just make my list for you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll mail it all in every time we stop. So it's fresh, of course.
It's fresh, of course.
All right. So last question. So you mentioned that the market's going to look good. Give us some of your stats, like you do, and tell us why you think that.
For next year?
No, this year, 2023.
For 2023, stats as far as what I think the market will be?
Yeah, like you know, like why you say you think it's going to be very good. Why?
Okay, I'll give you some quick numbers. Okay, We should have about 4.8 million transactions in the United States. The number of agents has decreased.
By about 10-15%.
Yeah.
Just an hour
and it's going to be more.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. And not sorry.
Not sorry.
But so because of that, then the number spread around everybody is a little more.
Right.
And the way the world unfortunately works, or fortunately, is when you have that momentum, you attract more business, and people then attract more from that because they feel comfortable and confident that you can get them what you say you're getting them.
Right.
So my goal this year is 60 deals and to make $500,000. My average commission is last year was $9,500, and so I can do it if I get 60 deals under my belt easily.
That's great. And that's when you say, yeah, 9, that's to you.
That's to me.
That's net out. You do it net out. A lot of people do
Sorry,
it.
I only care about what I net. I don't care about anything else.
As long as your
I
net
can't
isn't gross.
spend the rest of it.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's great. Well, congratulations. Awesome. And thank you very much for taking out 20 minutes, whatever it was, 20 minutes of your time before Paul's. Just so everybody knows, we normally do this on with Paul using his, but for some reason we had a little glitch in the system, so we're doing it. This is live off the phone.
Live.
Great job. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.